Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Nighttime Mics. I'm Sarah, and as always, I'm here with my good friend Mike. How's it going, Mike?
Hey Sarah, I'm doing great. I'm actually really excited about today's topic, even though it's a bit of a stressful one. We're talking about something that is basically a nightmare for anyone who loves to travel.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Is it losing your passport?
That's a big one too, but no. Today, we are talking about the dreaded missed flight. That moment when you realize the plane is gone and you're still standing in the terminal holding a cold coffee.
Oh no. Just thinking about it gives me butterflies in my stomach, and not the good kind. It's honestly one of my biggest fears. I'm the type of person who arrives at the airport 4 hours early just to be safe.
4 hours? Sarah, that's wild. The airport isn't even that fun, but I get it. To be honest, I used to be much more relaxed, maybe too relaxed. I've had my fair share of close calls, and actually, I've missed a flight before.
No way. You actually missed one? You have to tell me the story. What happened? Did you oversleep?
It's a classic Mike story, unfortunately. I didn't oversleep, believe it or not. I actually showed up at the airport on time, but I was traveling with a friend who is very, let's say, easily distracted. We were at the gate, we had about 40 minutes before boarding, and he decided he was starving.
Oh, I can see where this is going.
Exactly. He said, Mike, let's just go grab a quick burger. It'll take 5 minutes. I thought, sure, why not? We found a place, but the service was so slow. I kept looking at my watch, getting more and more nervous. By the time we figured out that the food wasn't coming quickly and decided to leave, we ran back to the gate, and it was closed.
That is heartbreaking. Did you see the plane still there?
Yes, that's the worst part. I could see the plane through the window. The jet bridge was still attached, but the door was locked. I tried to talk to the agent, use my charm, but she just shook her head and said, sorry, once the doors are closed, they're closed.
Wow. I would have been so angry at my friend. Did you guys get into a fight?
A little bit. We were both frustrated. We had to deal with the fact that we were stuck in Chicago for another 12 hours. We ended up having to pay a fee to get on the next flight. It was an expensive burger, Sarah. Probably the most expensive burger of my life.
I bet. That's a tough way to learn a lesson. It's interesting, though, because missing a flight feels like the end of the world in the moment, doesn't it? But looking back, it usually just becomes a funny story, or at least a story you can tell on a podcast.
Very true. At the end of the day, it's just a delay. But tell me about you. You said you're an early bird at the airport. Have you ever even come close to missing a flight?
Well, there was one time in London. I was taking the train to Heathrow Airport. I had everything planned out. I set off for my hotel with plenty of time. But then the train suddenly stopped in the middle of the tracks. The conductor came on the speaker and said there was a signal failure.
Oh, that's the worst. You have zero control over that.
Exactly. I was sitting there watching the minutes tick by. I started to panic. I was looking at the other passengers, wondering if they were also going to the airport. I started talking to this lady next to me, and she was so calm. She just said, well, if you miss it, you miss it. There's always another plane.
She sounds like a philosopher. I wish I could be that calm. Did you make it?
I did, but I had to literally run through the terminal. I felt like I was in a movie, running past people, shouting, excuse me, trying not to trip over my own suitcase. When I finally reached the security line, it was huge. I thought, this is it. I'm going to miss it.
So what did you do? Did you jump the line?
I didn't want to be rude, but I had to bring up the courage to ask people if I could go ahead. Most people were really nice about it when I told them my flight was boarding in 10 minutes. I finally got to the gate just as they were calling final boarding call. I was sweating, my hair was a mess, but I made it.
That's such an adrenaline rush. It's funny how the airport becomes a gym when you're late. Everyone becomes a professional sprinter.
Seriously. But it made me realize that even if you plan everything perfectly, things can still come up. Traffic, train delays, even just a long line at security. You can't control everything.
That's so true. And I think that's why people get so stressed. It's the lack of control. You're at the mercy of the airline, the weather, and the traffic. I read somewhere that missing a flight is one of the top 10 most stressful travel experiences.
I believe it. But let's talk about what people should do if they actually miss their flight. Because let's be honest, it happens to the best of us. What's the first thing you did when you realized that burger cost you your flight?
Well, after I stopped being mad at my friend, we went straight to the customer service desk. That's the first step. You have to find out what your options are. You can't just sit on the floor and cry. though I wanted to.
Right. You have to be proactive. I've heard that it's better to be really polite to the staff, even if you're frustrated. Is that true?
Oh, absolutely. Those agents deal with angry people all day. If you show up with a smile and explain your situation calmly, they are much more likely to help you out. Sometimes they can even waive the rebooking fee if you have a good excuse.
That's a great tip. I also heard that if the flight is missed because of the airline, like a technical problem or a delayed connecting flight, they have to provide you with a hotel or food vouchers.
Yes, exactly. But if it's your fault, like the burger situation, you're usually on your own. You have to pay up. Another thing people don't think about is their luggage. If you miss a flight but your suitcase was already checked in, sometimes your bag goes on a little adventure without you.
No way. That sounds like a disaster. So your bag arrives in Paris and you're still in New York?
It happens. You have to talk to the baggage office to track down where your stuff is. It adds a whole other layer of stress. That's why I try to stick to carry-on luggage whenever I can. It makes everything so much simpler.
I agree. It's so much easier to get around when you only have a small bag. Plus, if you do have to change your plans quickly, you don't have to worry about the airline losing your suitcase.
Definitely. So Sarah, let's play a little game. I'll give you a scenario and you tell me what you would do. Ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
You are at the airport. You just found out your flight is delayed by 6 hours. You've already passed through security. What do? Do you stay at the airport or try to leave?
6 hours. That's a long time. If the airport is close to the city, I might try to pop out for a quick meal or some fresh air. But honestly, I'd probably be too scared of getting stuck in traffic and missing the flight again. I'd probably just find a comfortable chair, get my laptop out, and catch up on some work. Or maybe watch a movie. What about you?
I'm the opposite. 6 hours is enough time for an adventure. I definitely leave. I'd find a local cafe, maybe see a nearby site. I can't stand in those airport chairs for that long. They are designed to be uncomfortable, I swear.
You're right about that. They want you to spend money in the shops. But see, this is the difference between us. You're the adventurous risk taker, and I'm the better safe than sorry person.
It's good to have a balance. But imagine this. What if you missed your flight and the next one wasn't until the next day, and the airline says, sorry, it's not our fault, no hotel for you? Where would you sleep?
Oh man, I've seen people sleeping on the floor at airports, and it looks so uncomfortable. I think I'd try to find a cheap hotel nearby. Even if I had to spend a bit of money, I need a real bed to function. I can't sleep with people walking past me and those loud announcements every 5 minutes. Please keep an eye on your luggage. Yeah, final boarding call for Mr. Smith. Yeah, it's not exactly a lullaby. I actually tried sleeping in an airport once in Germany. I thought I was being cool and saving money. I found a quiet corner, used my backpack as a pillow, and tried to close my eyes. And how was it? It was terrible. The floor was freezing, the lights never turned off, and every 30 minutes a cleaning machine would drive past me with a loud vroom sound. I woke up the next morning feeling like I'd been in a fight. I definitely regretted not just booking a room. See? Sometimes it's better to give up on the idea of saving money and just focus on your comfort. Traveling is exhausting enough as it is.
You're totally right. You know, we've been talking about the bad side of missing flights, but have you ever heard of stories where it was actually a good thing, like a blessing in disguise?
That's a great question. I guess maybe if the flight you missed ended up having a really bad experience, or maybe you met someone interesting while you were waiting for the next one?
Exactly. I actually read a story about a couple who missed their flight to their honeymoon. They were devastated. But because they were stuck at the airport, they met another couple who was in the same situation. They ended up becoming best friends, and now they go on vacation together every year.
Aw, that's so sweet. It's like a movie script. The Terminal, but with a happier ending. I guess it shows that even when things go wrong, something good can come out of it.
I love that attitude. It's all about how you look at it. If you miss a flight, sure, it's a mess. It's expensive, it's annoying, and you're tired. But it's also a chance to slow down. We're always in such a rush to get to the destination that we forget the journey is part of it too.
That's very poetic, Mike. But I still don't want to miss my flight to Italy next month.
Fair point. Italy is definitely worth arriving on time for. So what's your plan for that trip? How early are you going to be?
Oh, for an international flight? I'll probably be there 5 hours early. I'll have my bags packed 2 days in advance, and I'll check the flight status every 10 minutes until I leave the house.
5 hours. Sarah, you could walk to Italy in that time. Okay, maybe not walk, but you get what I mean. That's a lot of airport time.
I know, but it gives me peace of mind. I like to check in online, get my boarding pass ready on my phone, and then just relax. Once I'm past security, I feel like I can finally breathe. I usually treat myself to a nice breakfast or a magazine. It's like my little pre-flight ritual.
I like that. A ritual makes it feel more like a vacation and less like a chore. I usually just scramble at the last minute. I'm the guy packing his suitcase 10 minutes before the taxi arrives.
Mike, that's why you miss flights. You need to straighten up your habits. How do you even know if you have everything?
I usually don't. I often realize I forgot my toothbrush or my charger when I'm already at the hotel. But hey, you can buy those things anywhere. To me, the most important things are my passport, my phone, and my wallet. Everything else is optional.
You are so brave. I would have a panic attack if I realized I forgot something. I have a checklist for my checklist.
A checklist for your checklist? That is next level organization. But honestly, it's probably why you never have to deal with the stress of a missed flight. You figured out a system that works for you.
Exactly. And I think that's the takeaway for our listeners, right? Everyone has a different travel style. Some people are okay with the risk, and some people need the security of a plan. Neither is wrong, but one is definitely more expensive if things go sideways.
Very true. You know, thinking about all this makes me want to travel right now, even with the risk of delays. There's just something about airports, the energy, the people going to all these different places. It's exciting.
It is. It's a place where the whole world meets. Even if you're just there because you're stuck, you're surrounded by stories. You see people reuniting with their families, people going on business trips, students heading off on study abroad programs.
And people eating expensive burgers and missing their flights.
Yes, and those people too. So, Mike, if you could give our listeners one piece of advice to avoid the missed flight nightmare, what would it be?
Great question. I would say set off earlier than you think you need to. Whatever time you think is enough, add 30 minutes. Traffic happens, long lines happen, and if you're traveling with a hungry friend, make them eat before you get to the airport.
That is excellent advice. My advice would be to download the airline's app. They usually send you notifications if the gate changes or if boarding starts early. It's much easier than trying to find a screen in a crowded terminal.
Oh, that's a good one. Those gate changes can be sneaky. You're sitting there at gate A12 and suddenly the flight is leaving from gate D50 on the other side of the building.
Exactly. You have to stay alert. Don't get too comfortable with your headphones on.
Well, Sarah, I think we've covered a lot today. We've shared some horror stories, some tips, and hopefully some useful phrases for everyone listening.
I hope so too. It was really fun talking about this with you, Mike, even if it did make me a little nervous about my next trip.
Don't worry, you'll be fine. You'll be there 5 hours early, remember? You'll probably be the one opening the airport doors in the morning.
You're probably right. Well, thanks for listening, everyone. This has been Nighttime Mikes.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us. If you've ever missed a flight, we want to hear about it. Was it a disaster or a lucky break? Let us know in the comments.
We love hearing your stories. Before we go, Mike, any final words?
Just one. Check your gate. And maybe skip the burger if you're short on time.
Words of wisdom. All right. See you next time, everyone.
Bye.
So, Mike, seriously, after you missed that flight in Chicago, did you ever travel with that friend again?
I did, but now I'm the one in charge of the schedule. I tell him the flight is an hour earlier than it actually is.
That's genius. A little white lie to save the trip.
Exactly. It's the only way to make sure we actually get on the plane. He still thinks I'm just really lucky with timing.
He's going to find out if he listens to this podcast.
Oh man, you're right. Hey, if you're listening, sorry, buddy. It was for your own good.
It's true. Sometimes you have to look out for your friends, even if it means tricking them a little bit.
Totally. But you know, travel is always an adventure. Whether you make the flight or not, you're going to have a story to tell. And at the end of the day, that's what makes life interesting.
I couldn't agree more. Though I still prefer the stories where I actually arrive at my destination on time.
Fair enough. Me too, Sarah. Me too.
Well, I think I'm going to go check my tickets for my Italy trip now, just to be safe.
Go for it. And maybe set 5 different alarms. Oh, I already have 10. Of course you do. See you later.
Bye, Mike.
See ya.
Honestly, though, do you think the burger was at least good?
It was okay, but definitely not worth a $300 rebooking fee. I could have bought 1,000 burgers for that price.
That's a lot of calories.
Yeah, let's just say I learned my lesson. Now I stick to granola bars in my bag. Much safer.
Smart. Very smart. All right, let's wrap this up before I start getting hungry too.
Good idea. Good night, everyone.
Good night.